what do you think my hypothesis is?
Your hypothesis is one of intergenerational struggle, that what has happened 60 years ago has direct impact to the material well-being of what happens today. We reject that premise.
You don't think that history affects the president?
Not nearly as much as you think it does, actually. Well, we believe that you are most importantly a consequence of your agency and your actions. Most importantly. And yes, there are historical implications that impact you. Of course they do. But to just say something that happened not in your lifetime and not even in all of your dad's lifetime.
What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. Today, guys, we're back here with a new video. Today, we're going to check out black students shocked to hear what's actually plaguing the black community. I think I got that right. I think so. This is by Charlie Kirk, as I said it before. I call him Charlie Kick because he loves kicking us. I love to check this video out with you guys. This is going to be amazing. It's going to blow your mind. Whenever it comes to Charlie, it's always something different. Let's get right to today's video, guys.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Malcolm, and I guess my question to you today is, when did systemic racism end, and what is your definition of systemic racism?
Systemic racism is a law on the books that prohibits an individual from doing something based on their race. It largely ended with the Equal Rights Amendment and the Civil Rights Act in the 1960s.
Okay, and so do you think that it just ended right then and there, and there's no lingering effects of that could, you know, kind of explain some of the disparities we see today, or no?
If the hypothesis of lingering intergenerational 60-plus-year effects are true, then you must tell me how Jews have done so materially well post-Holocaust, despite everything being taken from them.
Well, I don't think that's a one-to-one
You're right, Jews had it much worse than blacks.
Well, 100%. I think that's also
have black Americans ever had a crazy fanatical dictator trying to kill half their population in a span of 5 years?
We have been enslaved for hundreds of years.
No, that's not the question. I'm saying, I'm saying Jews actually had it far worse than black Americans did in the 1930s and 40s. Way worse.
But do we have to look at Jews as how we should, like black people should just
No, I'm saying you have to prove the argument that it applies to other groups. So your argument is that things pass down through generations, right? That there's aftershocks, there's a ripple effect. We discount that as very minimal at best. So you have to show me another minority group that has suffered, that it held them back.
So for black people to have, or for the 60-plus, you know, like disparity to be true, you have to see that in another group.
Well, yeah, because then it's a rule, right? So the rule should apply to other groups that had other types of suffering.
But the way black people were treated in America isn't the same as any other group.
Well, I mean, Asians were put in internment camps actually in the 1930s and 40s.
Well, yeah, they were.
And Jews came with no money in the 40s or 50s after.
And that hurt their communities.
Right, but then they were able to overcome it. So how is it that Asians are super wealthy now?
They were put in internment camps and then let out of camps.
Yeah, but for 2 or 3 years, some Asians and Chinese and Japanese were in internment camps with no ability to own property, run business. I mean, it was terrible. Every group has gone through some period or form of suffering. And let me ask you a question. Do you think that the material bad status of black America right now has anything to do with decisions that black Americans have made?
I think that while it may have, that might be part of the reason, I think that there has been a push for black Americans to make that choice.
I don't understand.
I would say, like, take the war on drugs, for example. I would think that that is a way that black and white people were using, you know, drugs at similar rates, but black people were punished for it more severely and given longer sentences.
Okay, none of that is correct, but that's fine.
Well,
so
it is.
It's based on income, not based on race. But again,
but those are pretty much the same thing.
Again, I always find the war on drugs argument so laughable. You don't want to go to jail for doing cocaine, don't do cocaine. Like, I don't understand the argument. Like, it's not that hard. It's not complex stuff, right? It's as if, like, wait, so the argument is that a bunch of black people were doing cocaine and they caught us, and we're the problem.
Well, they were given longer sentences than white people, even though white people did the same drugs at the same
Hotly and highly debated, but it still is.
It's not.
Well, again,
I've heard it from a lot of sources.
If you distill it down based on the quality of attorney they had, based on their income level, it just so happens a lot of black Americans had a lower income level.
Well, you gotta why is that, though? And I think there's a reason that's the case.
And just so we're clear,
I think that's a systemic reason.
The war on drugs was insanely popular with black leaders back in the 1980s because black communities were actually being ravaged by drugs. There's a reason why we launched it.
Well, why were they were put in there in the first place?
So the government, like, put a bunch of cocaine in the inner city?
Into the inner cities, that's true.
No.
I believe that is true.
That's not true.
Well, you don't have to. Well,
it's
we
fine.
can move on from that then.
It's okay, but let's try to find some common ground, because I don't want this to be overly combative.
Okay, I would agree. Yeah.
Would you prefer a country that prioritizes race or one that...
I think we should have a country that prioritizes merit, and I think we need to look at why some races are seen as less meritorious than others.
Okay, so again, just to go back to it, I can give you another example. Cubans came here with nothing. Any Cubans in the audience? Nothing, right? Nothing, right? Am I right? Nothing. Because of Castro. Like, the poorest people ever to come to America would be Cubans. They're incredibly wealthy per capita now. How does it keep on happening with every other group, but black America is like seemingly always held back?
Well, I think you also have to look at, there are Cubans who move here with wealth. It's the ones who are rich enough to move.
Okay, again,
at least a lot of them are.
Again,
and I think that even the ones who do come here, you know, with nothing, which a lot do.
But you have to, so in order for your hypothesis to be true, it needs to bear out with one other group. So there have been, what?
Wait, what do you think my hypothesis is?
Your hypothesis is one of intergenerational struggle, that what has happened 60 years ago has direct impact to the material well-being of what happens today. We reject that premise.
You don't think that history affects the president?
Not nearly as much as you think it does, actually. Well, we believe that you are most importantly a consequence of your agency and your actions.
True.
Most importantly. And yes, there are historical implications that impact you. Of course they do. But to just say something that happened not in your lifetime and not even in all of your dad's lifetime.
Well, it happened in my grandmother's lifetime, though.
Right.
And it affected how my dad grew up, and it affected how, you know, what he had to do to get where he is, and for me to do what I did to get here.
Okay,
as well.
but you got to break that down, though.
Do you want me to explain like my whole family's history of how we?
Not necessarily, no. But at some point, you have to say, despite all the bad stuff happening to us, we still could have made good choices and we would have flourished.
Well, I think you can make good choices, and I think that you should also help people make good choices, because I don't see why we shouldn't.
No, we should help people make good choices.
Okay.
Do you know why? That's why we should get rid of DEI, which actually elevates and rewards people that have not necessarily worked as hard.
DEI just means diversity, equity, and
No, it means
inclusion.
didn't earn it, but yeah, that's fine.
It doesn't.
I know.
Well, why would you say that then? You know it
Well, because the essence of DEI means didn't earn it.
No, it doesn't. It
Yes,
means
it does.
diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Okay.
And I will explain
Again.
what's wrong with inclusion. What's so evil about that word that you don't like it?
Okay, well, in practice, not the word itself, this is a forced corporate program or college program, however you want to put it, that is putting people in positions that have less. I went with this previous guy. It's very simple. You are elevating things that do not matter, that should not be in the matrix of making decisions.
DEI isn't just about hiring. It can be research to find, you know, disparities of, you know, diseases against different groups. And it can be like, it's not just race. It's also, you know, disabilities. It's also veterans. You know, that's a group of people that we include here at Texas A&M.
So I want to get to the next question, but here's my plea to you and to all of Black America, which is this. You could pick the Salvadorians, the Mexicans, the Iranians, the Persians, the Syrians, the Lebanese. You could pick any country. The ones that have succeeded reject the attitude that you and the prior guy have said.
What do you think my attitude is?
Again, your attitude is very clear. You are prioritizing the past and de-emphasizing agency in the immediate.
I am saying that the past should
yeah, but all these
have
groups,
an effect on what we do
all
now.
these other groups do not believe this, and that because when
have
they
you
don't.
talked to all of these other
well,
groups?
again, you could look at their cultural ethos. You could look at how.
What?
Again, so you cannot find in major Cuban literature in Miami this belief like, well, I'm not able to succeed because they took my farm away and everything's gone in Castro.
That's
Instead,
not what I'm saying, and that's not what anyone who's pushing for DEI
no, it
is
is though, and that's the problem.
No, but the vast majority of people I've talked to who support DEI don't say that.
Okay, they might not say it, but again, in practice, but I'm saying
they don't practice it either.
In Black America, it is a dominant worldview, irrefutably, that focuses on past injustices and not future prosperity. Can we agree on that?
Well, okay, can you say that again?
In Black America, there is an attitude, a worldview, an ethos that is predominantly focused on past injustices, not on future prosperity.
Well, I think one, you're simplifying it too much. I think Black Americans see that there has been past injustices, and those past injustices are still here to some extent
Has that
today.
mindset worked for Black America?
Well, what do you mean? I mean, it worked for MLK. I mean, it worked for him.
Actually, MLK actually had the exact opposite. MLK would be marching in the streets against DEI, actually.
No, he would not be.
Well, he said, I don't care about color, I care about content of character. DEI cares about color.
DEI is about making an inclusive space for everyone of every background.
DEI and wokeness believe that every action is impacted by some systemic injustice and that DEI can fix it. We're not going to agree much. My final plea is this. I just hope Black America stops this victim mentality and embraces a victor mentality. They'll be much better if they do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
So it's as simple as that. Like when it comes to some Black Americans, I won't say everyone, so because some, like this guy, it's the victim mentality. Like every single time. I keep on saying this. Something never happened years ago. The boy's narrative or what he believes is that what happened during this time is still affecting them right now. That's exactly what he's saying. He said it's still affecting them. According to what he said, it actually affected his grandmother, then that also affected his father, then it's also affecting him now. He's choosing to accept the victim mentality. You see, because of this narrative that he has in his head, there are some certain decisions he's going to make in his life that's going to be very, very horrible. That is the fact. He don't want to let go of the victim aspect. He feels like the slavery that they enslaved him because he was never part of it. That is the funny aspect of this. He was not part of the slavery. What happened to Black Americans during those years is still affecting him, which is not true. In America currently, you have the same privilege as a white man, 100%, unlike during those times of slavery. You get, so if you believe in systemic racism, you are actually limiting yourself. Like anyone who are here, systemic racism exists. I feel like they're actually limiting themselves. Someone like this guy, he's limiting his potentials because he will always have that victim aspect in his head where he's going to find a job, when he's going outside and see people are looking at him in a very different manner. You feel like these people are being racist. Do you understand? It's not because they're looking at him because he's black. Maybe they're looking at him because of his dress or something, or his hair, but he has that mentality that these people are looking at me because I'm black. It will keep on having that mentality. That is what is ruining a lot of black communities, ruining a lot of black people. They have that inferiority complex every single time. They keep on feeling like they are not as equal as the whites. Try to give an example of Asians and people for Cuba. They are not playing this victim aspect. They are all moved forward past it. They have become better and much greater. Asians is the perfect example I will always give every single time. Asian Americans, those guys, they don't play the victim game. Their history is not as, it's not good at all. Like when they're coming from, they were actually treated badly. But look at them today. They're one of the richest in America. Why? Family. Family aspects. They prioritize family. I keep on saying this literally on my videos. If you ask this guy right now, ask him, does he believe in fathers in the home? It will tell you this, that. But that's what's causing this harm. I don't know about his history, so I won't talk about his family. You understand? I won't talk about his family or where it's come from. I don't know where it come from. But when there's lack of fathers in the home, it results to crime. 100%. It results to crime. It results to a lot of bad decisions. Mother cannot discipline a child enough. I'll keep on saying this literally on my videos now. Mothers, they're disciplined, but not enough. When a child tends to follow the father's discipline more than the mother. Do you understand? When the majority of the fathers are in jail or divorced or dead, you won't tell me you have a thriving community. It will never happen. Government has subsidized single motherhood. We are all saying that. We have seen the effects. That is exactly what I've said. So mothers are kind of like happy to divorce the man. Mothers are happy to divorce the man and be having child support every month so that they won't work again a day in their life, which is preposterous. We are seeing the effects. And this is something that keep on reoccurring over and over again. And you're telling me you want to get a thriving community. It will never happen. And having such mindset of feeling like you have been left behind in a race, whereas your mate are in the future, it will keep on dragging you back. And the aspect of them pushing themselves back, they were never enslaved. That is the funny aspect of this. They were never enslaved. They were never beaten. They were never molested. But why did I feel like those things happened to them? Because the history said their forefathers, that's happened to them. The victim game every single time. Charlie's always complain about this, and I will keep on saying it in all my videos I have to do, all the systemic racism. Black don't like to take accountability for their actions. They like blaming it on other people. A lot of people, a lot of black. I won't say all. A lot of black. Like this guy right now, he's not taking accountability for his future. He's playing the victim game that he's still in the past. How do you expect to move forward? Comment down below what you think about this video. Give us a thumbs up. Share this video to as many as you can. Subscribe to our channel, guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you stay safe.